Hello, welcome to Non-Dual Christianity. In this video, I want to talk about Jesus, the Word, or the creative pattern of the universe. This comes from John 1, which is a beautiful passage. I'd like to read that and make some observations about it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and apart from him nothing came into being that has come into being. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. First thing is, John seems to be taking a Greek philosophy here of the logos, word, or the demiurge. And I believe in the Greek thought that that was a very powerful being, but it was definitely a being within creation, maybe like a Superman. And John seems to be elevating that idea and saying, no. This creative force, this principle, this pattern of creation is God. It is transcendent. It is beyond creation because creation came into being through the Word. And yet there seems to be a distinction between, yes, the Word is the divine, it is God, and yet somehow separate. And it seems like for John what this is God, if the Father, as perhaps infinite potential. And then the Word is this creative movement that is God as well, but it is the urge, the movement to pour out into form. So that's where things come into being, the world of form, the galaxies, planets, humans, animals, right? Second, John seems to very much be referencing creation here. So Genesis 1 talks about in the beginning, John 1 talks about in the beginning. And Genesis 1 seems to be a bit more focused on the world of form, whereas John 1 seems to be talking about a different layer. And to me, what that would mean is when John 1 says, in him was life, and the life was the light of men, he's not talking about the form of humans being created, but something more. Something that Genesis refers to as being created in the image of God, or having the breath of life put into humans. That there's something special about humans beyond just the form which they share with the rest of creation. And my argument would be this life, this light, is consciousness. It's the self-awareness, the light of consciousness, which is the divine nature itself. Because John 1 is saying, in the Word, God was life, and the life is the light of men. And then in verse 9, it talks about the light being the Word, clearly. So it seems like this metaphor is being used in a couple different ways. The light is the Word, but the light is also this indwelling something within men, which I would say is consciousness. So if this is true, then this very much supports the non-dual perspective, which says that humans have form, a mind, body, and personality, right? But that deep sense of existence, of I am that's within you, that is this life, this light, consciousness, the divine essence. And even though that light is there, because that's your deepest sense of self, right? Then we're mistaken, though, into believing that our form, our being, in this case, is our true identity. And that's where John is saying that the light shines in the darkness. Right? We all have this essence nature that is within us as us, and yet the darkness, meaning our form, right, our mistaken identity of personality, mind, body, it doesn't comprehend it. And it's just a beautiful way to express this reality that is happening moment by moment within humans. And I would say the reason why this has to be the case right now within you, within me, is because if we take life and light to be something that's added at some point in the future, right, then how can there be this contrast with men now, right? How can men who don't have the life or the light exist? And it seems that that very much goes with the idea that humans are created in the image of God with the breath of life. So this is something that is already present, and it's a matter of comprehending it or not comprehending it as compared to this being added or somehow supplemented into humans at a later point in time. I hope that was helpful, and I hope how you can see then this word is not only God, but the word represents the light and consciousness within all of creation that flowed out of the word. Thank you for exploring this with me today.